Michael Tiny Saul with the market recap for the week ending January 11th and the look ahead for the week of January 14th. Economic reports. Bernanke speaking 4 o'clock on Monday. Rosengren speaking at 8 a.m. Then you have core retail sales at 8:30, PPI at 8:30, and then the retail sales without the core in front of it. On Tuesday, also core PPI, then business inventories at 10 o'clock. On Wednesday, core CPI at 8:30, capacity utilization, industrial production, crude oil, beige book at 2 o'clock. This is ranked an orange or rated an orange, but I don't know. For some reason, I always think the beige book has more influence than I guess they say it does. I don't know. Anyway, building permits, unemployment claims on Thursday, Philly Fed at 10 a.m., and then on Friday, inflation expectations and consumer sentiment at 9:55. So pretty busy week as far as economic reports. Also, we have entered earnings season, so there will be some key earnings that will be released this week. Don't forget to check in with the newsletter, which is still on beta testing, which means you could pick it up for free. And I go over what key earnings are expected. There's usually earnings every day now, but a lot of days there aren't companies reporting that have an influence. But this week there's going to be some pretty big reports, so definitely something to pay attention to. So this past week, we came out of this consolidation here. I guess you could call it a flag, with this being the impulse, but when something is range-bound, I usually don't like to call it a flag because flags don't exist in a range, but this was an impulse, so we did come out of the flag the last part of the week. Friday, we basically paused. Thursday, we had, I guess, the widest range of the session, but you can see we only closed up a bit from where we opened. So the 2012 highs, in my opinion, which are now just a chip shot away, I think they're going to be tested sooner rather than later, and probably this week. Now, my confidence is high that they're tested. But again, just because I think it's going to be this week, I don't know, maybe they're going to continue to take their time trying to push this here. Now, as I've been saying for a little bit, that would just be the first stop. The next stop above, if it can break it, is 151. And the question becomes, do we just break through the highs and keep going? Does it reject there and form a nice big double top? Does it stall out? And have to wind up a little before breaking through? That all remains to be seen. Okay, this is what's known as a key decision area, an inflection point. It's the place where something happens. But to guess, the volume's light, so it has to reject, or the volume's good, so it has to go through, or the NASDAQ's lagging, which we'll get to in a minute, so that means it can't go through. All nonsense. What it means is to pay attention up here and act or react based on the feedback that you're going to get. And yeah, I know wait and see is a pretty much of a cop-out plan, but what do you want to do? Do you want to guess and have a 50-50 shot, or do you want to wait for evidence and move off of that? Personally, I'd rather wait for evidence. Now, Dow looks basically the same. It's lagging a little bit, but still looks like it wants to get up there. The Russell, came out of its little coil. It closed at a high, a new high, but you can see not the high of the week. All right, but Russell still looks like it's in good shape here. Now the NASDAQ, still lagging here. Couldn't even get to a new high on the year, which I know the year's only a couple weeks in now, but still, I mean, the other indexes managed to get there before easing off a little bit on Friday. So NASDAQ is definitely lagging here. I think the NASDAQ, I'm pretty confident the NASDAQ can make it to the 78.6. Don't know if it can make it up to these highs. If the NASDAQ does get going, it should give enough fuel for the broad market to get to that 127% external retracement that we saw up at the 151 basis SPY. All right, now one of the reasons that I think the NASDAQ does get to that 78.6 at a minimum is the way the SOX, the semiconductor index, acted last week. Okay, we highlighted this coil in the newsletter. We dropped out of the coil, which is like, but still not a lot of technical damage. It's still above the moving averages. And then look, beautiful recovery by the end of the week to have it at multi-month highs. So that is a good sign. Okay, it's a good sign that the semiconductors are acting this way. It's above the 78.6, which suggests we get to the September highs on the semis. Look at some key stocks there. Clad Tanker closed the week above the 200-day. Still kind of struggling to stay over this since it broke down below it in September, but got an inverted head and shoulders here. So if this kicks up here, you got 43.21. You could probably use this as the neckline. 49.31 to, what is this? What did I say that was? 43 to 49, 6 points. So you're looking at a retest of the highs as per the measured move of the inverted head and shoulders. Of course, that's just a rule of thumb. Price action rules all. Intel, really nice movement here. All right, it was one of the worst performing Dow stocks last year. Bottomed out in November. We were all over this, watching this to break above 20. Now it has to get above here, of course, above 2250s, and see if it can make it to the 200-day moving average. NVIDIA acting like crap. Broadcom, okay, came up, held the 200-day moving average, and really got to get above 35. Okay, there's a lot of stocks in this group. Do your due diligence, and you'll see a lot of setups. I talk about a couple in the, I at least talk about one in the newsletter for Monday that I'm editing now. Let's look at the banks. Okay, the banks, really nice. Consolidating here, that's good. No technical damage. Yeah, it didn't rip this week. Okay, this is fine. I love stair-stepping action. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, you can see here, we come up, pause it here, come up, stair step, and now another stair step here. See if this can bust out and get up above the 56 area, because this is 55.88 looks like the high. So it's got to get above 56, and then you got what's this, 59? Yeah, then you got the 59 area up there. But the banks are looking good here. This is a good pattern. Doesn't mean it can't pull back, but as long as there's not a lot of technical damage, this is a nice short-term uptrend. Bank of America, okay, didn't like this day on Wednesday. Did hold the 20 EMA. Again, no technical damage done here, but you want to see if it can turn here and rally. Citigroup had the reversal candle, and after that, it's just kind of been pausing here. JP Morgan, reversal candle, but look at the next 2 days, right near the highs of this. See if this can break out. State Street Corp been on a really nice move here. All right, we talk about Northern Trust in the newsletter. Zion, okay, also nice. Again, could be a double top, but so far not a lot of technical damage, just a pullback to the moving average. Broker-dealer index, also in a coil. Nice pattern here. Okay, I don't like when we're so far stretched above the 10-day. I kind of like when the 10-day comes in and holds, or I really like the 20, but the 10 at a minimum, like you see here, we pop up, the 10 comes down to comfort it, then it comes up, the 10-day comes down, it comes down into the 10-day, but it doesn't mean it can't get going. I think this is going to hit a minimum of 100, potentially more. Pull a weekly chart up. You got basically 109.50 up here. This is the 109.60s area. And this is pretty good resistance. You can see a little shelf here in 11 and then back again in 12. So got to respect that. But I think it's going to get to at least 100, if not that 108 and change or 109 and change, whatever that was. Goldman, really nice move. Took a pause. Morgan, above 20. Something like Franklin Resources, which is kind of a broker. His Alliance Bernstein, really nice move. Tagged over 20 for the first time in a while. Okay, since 2011. You do have resistance up here closer to 21, so you got to watch that. How about the cyclicals? Okay, the cyclicals acting nice. Took a little pause on Friday, but no big deal there. All right, how about XLB? Yeah, acting pretty nice. See if it can get to 40, get above 40. How about the biotechs? Yeah, biotech's acting well. Home, healthcare, sloppy here. Look at Aetna quick. Yeah. Biotechs, look at Celgene. Look at this move. I mean, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous impulse. Not the spot to test, not the spot to chase, sorry, but a pullback, a pause. As long as it's not one of these, whee, see you later. But if it's a nice, orderly pullback, nice pause, I'm watching for this to tag 100. This is a very sharp impulse, which suggests that there is more to come on this. All right, here's the weekly chart. I mean, this is not, let's just start shorting this. No, wait for a pause and look to get on board for at least a quick trade. Home builders, whoops, got to put in the right symbol there. Home builders pausing here, but a lot of nice stocks. Ryland still looks okay. Meritage, we highlighted this in the newsletter. Toll, still lagging. KBH, still lagging. Highlighted those three, I believe, in the newsletter. I only write the thing. Gosh forbid I forget what's in it. Now, really, I have to always reference it because I'm trying to talk about a lot of stuff here. But you can see KB Home is in a nice consolidation here. So see what that does. How about CT? Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry about that. BZH, short-term uptrend, has resistance there. Gold, choppy. Yes, it's on the 200-day, but to me, it's more choppy than anything. You could draw a line here and look for a break one way or the other. We are below the 50-day, and we're kind of on the 200-day, but volatility trumps direction, so always keep that in mind. Silver, basically the same thing. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Looks weaker than gold, though. Oil at a nice key decision area right at the 200-day moving average. So can it got above it on Thursday, but you can see here it's back below it. Can it get some nice extension here? CVX, right, we have that in the newsletter, acting very well. And no, I'm not bragging because we had also Cleveland Natural, whatever that's called. Here's Exxon. Here's the one we had that stopped out this week. Cliffs Natural, not Cleveland. Cliffs Natural Resources. Okay. And just, so pissed. This looked like such a nice move, nice pullback, and then it stopped out. So if you're looking for a newsletter that's 100% or never loses, and we're 99.9%, and sorry, it doesn't work that way, and it's called real life. So you can check out the newsletter. I'll you know what, I'm going to type it in right now. This will take a couple of seconds, so I apologize. But if you want to get the newsletter, you can get it every day at for now you can get it this way until we go pay, which will be probably February 1st. Okay, so there, http stockmarkettrendsx.com/newsletter, and you can access the newsletter from there every day. All right. Gold, silver, oil, glamour stocks. Apple. Yeah, I kept thinking that Apple would try to put in a higher low here. And, I mean, we have something that looks like it could be one, but this 50-day moving average is coming down really quick. So unless this decides to turn tail here and get a bounce, there's a chance that it can get through 500. In my opinion, that could bring in some panic, right? Everybody's like, oh, at least it held 500. Yeah, even though it was in the sevens. Yeah, no, it's okay. Don't worry, 500 is no big. 200 points off of a $7 stock is no big deal, right? I'm being sarcastic. I'm not saying that it isn't a big deal. Obviously, it's a pretty big correction. But I think if it breaks 500, there could be some capitulation. I think people could really start throwing this over the side of the boat, as they say, or as I say at least. Google, got to get through this 745 number. Baidu, yeah, what a nice move. 200-day moving average, resistance. LinkedIn, if I could spell it right. Okay, watch 120. Yeah, I know the super gurus were calling this to 75, but yeah, a little bit off. Watch the highs. Facebook, wow, what a move. I think Facebook retests its opening high, its opening day high. But let's run the fib just to be not sure, but just to look. No, not yet. Not suggesting technically it gets there yet. But I think there's a chance it gets there eventually if the market continues to rally. If not, then maybe it stalls out at a fib number. But I'm not counting it out. I don't think it's a great deal here. So stretched like this, but okay, Zynga, signs of life. Could be putting in a potential base here, but wow, this thing is really beaten up. So be careful. Groupon, okay, coming off its November lows. Can it make it to the 200-day? Research in Motion, this is the one that got away from me this week. I am so pissed because I look at RIM every day. I'm obsessed with it. Not because of the... I don't know. RIM is like one of the... If I'm ever looking through stocks and I'm just punching in symbols, I always punch in RIM. I don't know why. I just always do. But I am really upset that I missed this because this was a gorgeous coil. And I think RIM is headed for at least these highs up here. Potentially can get to 15 and above. But this is a big, big move. Potash. Yeah, nice move over the 200-day last week. See if it pulls back and holds. That could be a potential long side opportunity. Win. Looking okay. See if it can pause here. Las Vegas Sands. Same deal. See if this can pause. MGM, same thing. All right, Rackspace. Yeah, looks like it's continuing to just climb up and ratchet higher. So let's review. And one thing I did forget to mention, but I will bring up now. When we're starting to get into the meat of earnings season right here. So there'll be some key stocks released this week. It's also the first option expiration of the year. That's going to be interesting. There is usually a bullish tendency on option expiration week. I think that we get to these highs this week. It's not that big of a guess, right? Obviously, if news comes out of something and it just completely tanks the market, okay, but I'm pretty confident that we're going to get to these highs at this point. Don't know what we're going to do once we get there. I'd like to see the NASDAQ step up, but Apple is probably going to need to come out of this coil to the upside. I don't think the NASDAQ is going to go very far if Apple breaks down below 500. Feel free to contact me, Tiny, at stockmarkettrendsx.com. Don't forget to go and grab that newsletter. It's free for a limited time. All you have to do is go to that page and download it. You can always check my daily morning email for more, and I will talk to you in next week's video or via that daily email. Take care.